Hello, gorgeous. I am back today, and today we're talking about how not to spoil your kids while living in abundance. So, I get asked this question all the time on Instagram in my DMs because a lot of you guys watch my stories where you see me taking my kids on extravagant shopping sprees, luxury vacations, room service at hotels, like all of this lifestyle that I really wanted to give my children. And so I do get DMs of people saying, aren't you spoiling your kids? Or how do you teach them to have good money habits while also living so abundantly? So that's the topic that we are tackling today. And I have my notes here because I really wanted to make sure that I gave you everything that I wanted to say. The first thing I'm going to say is that we all have core beliefs or root causes of how we see the world. So think of your core belief as like the root cause of how you think of and process the world. And a lot of our core beliefs are formed in childhood or even in early adulthood unconsciously because of circumstances that happened to us, and it got programmed in our subconscious, and then that's how we started processing things. So for example, if you had an experience in early childhood or maybe early adulthood where you made money or you lost it, or maybe your parents lost money, then it gets programmed in you as fear, and then you start engaging with money from this place of, I can't trust you, yes you're here, but what if I lose you? And so that becomes how you not only live your life, but how you end up parenting. So whatever your core beliefs are is how you are parenting your kids. So what I've done and what my husband and I have both done over the years is work through our own money issues and our relationship with money and how we see money and how we interact with money, and therefore how money gets to interact with us. And of course, it's a work in progress always. Every year we discover new places that we need to expand ourselves when it comes to money. And because we are actively and publicly doing this inner work, our children get to see us and learn from our experience, not how they're supposed to engage with money, but how they're supposed to keep growing with money and how they're supposed to keep learning. So because of this, if I just tell you a whole bunch of things that I do with my kids, a lot of it is going to trigger you. Because if you don't have those core beliefs, it's gonna seem outrageous. It's gonna be like, wait, what? And that's why, a lot of people will hear these kind of things or even see my Instagram stories and say, you are spoiling your kids, because they have different core beliefs, and from their core beliefs, it seems like what I'm doing is wrong or dangerous, or it's going to, land me with some spoiled kids. So the first core belief that I wanna share with you that I have, and then when I share with you what I've taught my kids, it's going to make more sense, is that there is the masculine and the feminine of money. Just like everything in life, to create a baby, to create wealth, to create anything, you need both the masculine and the feminine. And we also believe that my family, my husband and I, and what we teach our kids is that every human being should be good in both. Yes, when you get married later on, you might be better in one aspect than your partner, and you will, then in divine union figure out how you're going to play with that. But we do believe that every single human being should strive to be good in both. So the masculine in money is your financial literacy. It's literally how you manage your money: investments, stock portfolios, real estate, bank accounts, saving accounts, right? CDs, like literally like how to budget and finance and pay your bills. That is the masculine container of money. And we do believe that everyone should be good at this. And I've shared openly with you before that when I came into this marriage with Irfan, I was not good at that part. He was really good at that part, okay? Then the feminine part of money is the energetics of money, how money energetically works, how to attract more, how to be a magnet for it, how to not have to sacrifice yourself to have it, how to enjoy it, the pleasures of it. So that is the feminine part of money, the manifestation part. And when we got married, I was really good at that, and my husband was really good at the masculine part. And at first we just played with that I was gonna be good with that part and he was gonna be good with the other part. But then we realized that as fully grown human beings, that it would served us and the union to be good at both. So I had to learn the masculine part and he had to learn the feminine part. And that's been an entire, almost 14 and a half year journey for us at this point. So that is one of our core beliefs. Another core belief that we have is that money gives us options to have a spiritual life experience on this planet. We believe that life is life school, that our soul came here to play out a certain content so that we can learn and grow, like our soul can learn and grow and then move on to another stage of its growth. And money makes it easier to have a lot of those experiences, and therefore we get to have money. It is the spiritual thing to do to have money so that we can really evolve to our highest level on this planet. Okay, our third core belief that I want to share with you today is that money is an abundant, unlimited resource that is simply following your orders. So if you believe money is bad, then it stays away from you, because why would you want to have something that's bad? If you believe money is good, it's abundant, it gets to come to you easily, again, the feminine part, then it magnetizes towards you, it comes to you. So it basically just takes resonance from you, frequency from you, and follows those orders, okay? Number 4 core belief is that not every experience, thing, and place is worth your time, attention, experience, because as a soul, we are finite. But when we incarnate into this planet, in this physical plane from the metaphysical, time here is limited, or at least appears to be limited, because this is a limited time journey. And because of that, we want to choose the highest evolved levels of growth, and not everything is going to be worth our time. Like, I don't have to be good at everything, because that doesn't serve my soul. I don't have, for example, I'm not really into playing music. I learned to play the violin in school and then realized that was not my thing. So I'm not going to go and learn a whole bunch of things or spend money doing things that really just doesn't resonate with my soul's energetic blueprint, right? So there are things that are worth our time and attention here, and then there's things that are not. And our 5th and last core belief that I want to share, we have more than this obviously, but this is just what I want to share for the purpose of this video, is that you can use money to enhance your life experience and have more up-leveled spiritual experiences, desires, growth, and you can actually help other people do the same, okay? So now down to parenting. We believe that how we engage with money in front of our kids and in our life is way more important than anything we actually say to them, because children watch your actions, they read your energy, right? So for example, if I'm always worried about money, if I'm always scared of money running out, but I tell my children that money is abundant and they can manifest it, there's a lot of dissonance there, and they're going to grow up just as confused as I'm mirroring back to them. And so they're gonna say, well, she said money was abundant, and she said money was something that was a renewable resource, but that's not what she really believed, because she showed up in scarcity, right? So don't worry so much about what you're actually saying to your kids, but actually embodying the concepts of what you want to teach, like being an actual amazing, fantastic role model for your kids will always trump what you say, okay? So some of the things that we've taught our children that really, really help. Number 1 is that money is there to serve you. It's there to help you. It's there to be your friend. It's there to enhance your life experience. And every time you spend money or not spend money, it's like there's a growth factor there. There's going to be experiences in your life where you will think you really wanted something or desired it, and you will spend money there but then you will realize, oh, well, this really didn't bring me as much joy as I thought, or maybe this isn't where I'm going to be spending money coming along. And to watch out for those things, like train your eyes and ears and your feeling body to know where those gaps are. And I also mirror that back to my kids. Like I will say to them, oh, I bought this thing thinking I was going to feel XYZ, and that is not the experience that I had, and this is what I learned from it. Okay. The second thing is that money is a resource for you, but it doesn't come at the it shouldn't come at the expense of something, okay? This is a big one. So I don't want my children growing up thinking that they have to sacrifice their health, sacrifice their life, sacrifice their time to earn money. And this is something that I've taught them over the years through my own modeling and mirroring, that look, you can always earn more money. It's a renewable resource, but health, once it's lost, it is harder to get back. Of course, you can always get it back. And I've shared with them experiences of our ancestors, my mom, my dad, their parents, and, the sacrifices that they made, and at the end had to pay huge prices for it. And so they have these stories and these real life experiences to learn and know, okay, is this worth it? Like my 18-year-old, I see him literally processing things. Like when he started his business, I saw him kind of working with how many readings he wants to do during the day. He does human design readings. You guys know this. And if you guys are interested, I'll put his email in the description box. And so at first he was like scheduling 4 or 5 readings a day. And then, he was like, Mom, at the end of the day, I was a little tired, and I realized that maybe 5 readings isn't me giving my best self, and so I'm gonna experiment going down to 4. And then he went down to 1 and 2. Like I saw him working through the process of what was the right experience for him, but he did it so intentionally that it really showed me in really 5D all of the work that I had put in training him for that had worked, right? Like it was something that he had embodied. He was processing, hey, yes, I want to make this money. Yes, I want to help all of these people, but what's the right balance and harmony in how I want to do this? And one of the things he said to me was, he said, I want every client to feel like they were my only client today, that I gave them my all, that I gave them my best. And so he was trying to figure out, what is that right number? How can he give the 4th client that day the same energy, the same enthusiasm that he gave the 1st client? And I'm like, that is brilliant. Like to process things that deeply and that intentionally and that consciously is everything. So imagine just trying to explain that to an 18-year-old. Well, you can't, especially if you haven't modeled it their entire life, right? It's a hard concept to understand unless you have had many examples of your parents engaging with this exact thing, right? Or at least something similar that they can now maneuver into their life experience. Another thing that we've taught our children is that not everything is the same quality. And so instead of saying to my kids when I take them out shopping, let's say they pick up something that I think is just like awful quality, instead of saying, no, you can't have this, I direct the conversation to, oh, that's interesting. What do you think of the quality? Did we do a quality check, right? And so you will see my, especially my daughter is so cute. She loves stuffed animals, especially squishmallows. And she can get a little overexcited about squishmallows. And so you have to, we say you can buy that if you want to, but we direct her attention to, is this the best quality? And so you will see her inspecting it, and she'll often come and say, Mom, I'm gonna go find another one. This one has a stain on it, or this one has threads coming out, right? And so teaching this to your kids early on is gold, because you're already training their eyes and ears, like I said, to be looking for those things. Another thing that I've said to my children over the years, this is especially important because I didn't want my children to think that money comes through parents. I don't want my children to turn us into like their gods of money, because that's not real life. That's not how the world works. That's not how money comes, right? Like they're not going to be like, we're not going to be their only source of money. So when they were especially younger, I would say, if they would say that they want this XYZ, I would say, oh, wonderful, manifest it, put it on your vision board, journal on it. So I taught my children that we are just one of many channels where something can come through them. They can manifest it through us. They can manifest it through their own allowance. They can manifest it through grandparents, and uncles, Christmas presents, birthday presents, or some other thing that we can't even conceive of right now. And that way, it didn't become this thing of like, mommy and daddy said no, so I can't have this thing. I can't tell you how many times my kids have manifested things in like beautiful, brilliant ways that were outside of us. And I absolutely love this for them, okay? The other thing that has really helped my children is cost per use or cost per wear, okay? So instead of looking at things as, you know, when you're a child, you know, you start thinking of things as $10 is a lot of money and $100 is more and $1,000 is way too much, right? But we explain to them that it depends on how much you enjoy something and how much you use it. So if you paid $100 for something and you never used it and never enjoyed it, that is a very expensive item, way more expensive than if you spend $1,000 on something but you enjoyed it every single day for like 10 years. That item was really cheap. So we changed the definition of what it means for something to be expensive versus cheap. That it's not just a dollar amount, it's the enjoyment that you get out of it, right? If you can expand the enjoyment out of something, and even if it was a gazillion dollars, it's still cheap because you enjoyed it so much. So all of these things combined, as you can see, start forming a basis of core beliefs on how they use money, interact with money, how money interacts with them. And therefore, it's not like this thing that parents control and this thing that you have to like get out of your parents, otherwise you can't have it, or you can't have things or experiences that you want to have. Of course, we've also explained to our children the concept of Barkat and what waste means in the concept of Barkat, and how to engage with them, how to engage with money from the lens of Barkat. And if that's something you're interested in, I have an entire course, life-changing, paradigm-shifting course on Barkat, which I will link in the description box for you. So all the principles that I've taught in there, I have taught my children since they were little itty-bitty babies, like even in utero, because I was practicing them, so they understand, you know, the compounding effect of Barkat and how it works either for you or against you in your life. So the last thing I want to say today is that we have also explained to our kids that because of millions of years of evolution, we do have it in us as parents, this like fear gene. Because of millions of years of how Homo sapiens have evolved, there is a part of us that is always scared for our kids and thinks that we should keep them small, keep them like, you know, caged up, and keep them in nice little safe jobs so that nothing bad happens to them. And because our children realize that that comes from a place of love, but it also does come from a place of scarcity, we've helped them point it out when we're doing it, and also have grace with us. Like, I can't tell you so many times I have said to my kids, oh my God, no, don't do that, or that's a bad idea, and then thought about it and said, oh my God, I was totally having a peasant moment, totally in my scarcity, and then gone back to my kids and said, by the way, I'm so sorry, I was having a mommy peasant moment, and you're right, you shouldn't have to do it that way. You know, so having that conversation with them makes them realize that there will be times where mommy and daddy will be in their fear, will be in their limiting belief, will be in their peasant consciousness, and to offer us grace, but even gently point it out if they think that that's what we're doing, and so that we can have that conversation and evolve through it. The best thing I can say to you right now is that there are so many opportunities in your life when you are engaging with your children, when you're out and about shopping, grocery shopping, out in the real world, where they are watching you. How you engage with money, how you model your own fears, your own abundance, your own barkat, your own growth is what they will learn. So to give you an example, I was out shopping with my younger two kids over the past weekend, and I fell in love with this. It was a crop top, and like it was a workout outfit, like a matching set. And it was in the most perfect shade of pink. Oh my God. Like it was like just, it was made for me. And so I grabbed it, and my daughter was like, "That's your color." I'm like, "Yes, it's my color." And so I'm looking at it, and she's looking at it, and I'm like, "Oh no." She's like, "What?" I'm like, "Look at this." There were like threads coming out, and you can immediately see that it was just not good quality. It was in the perfect color, but I could just see that it was not good. And she's like, "Oh no, see if there's another one." And so we started going through the rack, and all of them were similar quality. So meanwhile, my son walks up from looking at stuff for himself, and he's like, "Oh, are you gonna get that, Mom?" And I said, "I was going to get it, and it's the right color, but look." And I showed him, and he's like, "What do you think?" And I'm like, "I really, really love this color, but I don't think this is gonna survive even one wash." And then I said, "I am not available for bad quality things in my closet and in my life and on my body," right? And so they were like, "Oh no, you're gonna have to put it back." So I put it back. They literally saw me doing it. When we were in line, I was literally like looking back at it, and they said, "Are you sure you don't want to just get it?" I'm like, "I am not available for bad quality things. I'm sure I can find that somewhere better, and it's going to be in the right color, and it's going to be amazing quality." Now, because my children see all of this stuff, they're not thinking that I'm making them put something bad because in the guise of bad quality, but like mommy doesn't have the same standards for herself, right? So this is the best teaching and training that you can give your kids, that what your core beliefs are, what your values are the same things that you're teaching them. There is no duplicity there. And this is worth so much more than anything that they can even read in a book or something they can learn in a classroom, because it's literal life experience. So don't rob yourself and your children of these beautiful experiences, okay? I've heard from parents that they're even afraid to take their kids to the store because they don't, because their kids won't want to buy everything and they don't want to say no. But you're robbing both of you guys from having this really amazing experience when you're both learning from each other, okay? So I do have a whole course on parenting. I know some of you guys have asked about this, and I created that course in 2018, and I've added to it. I do want to add more stuff because since then we have raised a whole teenager, and he is an adult now. So I want to keep adding to it. As I experience different phases of my own journey. I'm going to actually put this training in there as well as a bonus, and I wanted to offer it on YouTube as well. So if you're interested in my parenting course, it's called High Value Parenting. It comes already bundled in the Self-Aware Barbie Activated bundle, so don't buy it if you have that, it's already in it, but you can also buy it separately. I will link that below. Also, I have some very exciting announcements coming up via my email list. So if you're not on my email list, I will link all of that information for you in the description box. So let me know your best tip on parenting your children and teaching them abundance while not spoiling them. I hope you enjoyed this, and I look forward to learning from you in the comments as well. All right, everyone, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.